this product and it was very
Thank you.
I didn't know that. I learned that when I was I'm gonna go back actually and tell you my cities. That one take pictures of the camera. Whenever they didn't have cameras, like you know, we didn't have phones or anything.
When's the last time you were?
2011. But I didn't have a cell phone. It was like a flip.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's everything.
What's this? You? Nice.
I can see like it's a hot chocolate.
The Mexican hot chocolate you use with that, but like stick in milk. My mom used to do that with like goat's milk. She does. It would be little if you drinking that. In the wintertime, why are we so warm? The rum inside.
Girls and two next to you. That's like
Hey, I'm lying without it, but.
you do a close up. I think you should stand on this side. Is this more this way? Yeah, this way. Get you closer. So I'm gonna take a close up. And then I'm gonna take a close up here.
So beautiful. I go with.
Let me do a close so you can see. It's kind of hard because your lace kind of takes away your makeup, but it looks cool.
Tomorrow I'm not doing the place at all.
Yeah.
Sí me compré escritos para poner.
Yeah. Okay. Now I guess it.
¿Qué onda, mi gente?
If anyone else joins, I'm gonna go kind of close the door. If anyone else joins us. We're at both people, okay?
Yeah.
We're at both people, okay?
I'm sure it was my cousin. Yeah. Yeah, that's my cousin.
Oh, okay. Are they not?
I don't know if he'll come, but if he was like, okay.
Oh.
Let me do a close up video and then I'll tag you on the social media of my selling culture.
Sorry, it's not.
I know. There we are.
Gracias, okay.
Thank you for helping bring all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your help. And thank you everybody for coming and Elizabeth for being here. Elizabeth's going to live stream. And we are so grateful to have you here now. To bless us with your presence. To bless us. Yeah, bless us.
The glasses will fall, but. Oh, wait, no.
There you go. Take it away. Oh, you put it there. Oh, I got this for my mom. I don't know if I should put it. Oh,
Yeah, that is for everybody. You can add it.
Okay. So I know a lot of people know about Dia de los Muertos, and they heard a lot about Art of Ofrendas because of movies like Coco, like whatever ones were there before.
The Book of Life.
The Book of Life. I think the Book of Life is a little bit more correct and accurate. I feel like the directors and the creators of that movie actually did a lot of research on the how everything really is supposed to be for ofrendas. The colors and everything that go to ofrendas matter. Everything matters with your ofrenda. Also, you know, this is going to vary region by region and by families, traditions. If you're from Michoacan, you guys might not practice everything. If you're from Jalisco, you might practice what I have too, because my family is from Jalisco. But the colors are all representative of everything. We do need to have the elements. Typically what we do is this is something that's practiced like actually at their gravesite. You take their favorite foods, a traditional food that you take to eat, to share is actually mole, which is what you use this to make. you can use chocolate to put mole or chicken or beef, whatever you prefer. My friend did want me to point out something really quick before I go into the little slideshow that I made. Las Catrinas were actually, they're not an actual part of Dia de los Muertos, but just like alebrijes, they were kind of indoctrinated into it because of the vibrancy of the colors and what they pretty much represented. So you have your traditional form of catrinas, which are made out of papel picado or just paper. Then that would be this like the paper mache. It is paper mache, except you no sé qué símbolo en inglés. En grupo.
It's
like
the
glue.
mosh glue, but it's made out of
Yeah.
flowers. They flour the flour. They use to make
So this is the traditional catrinas that are done with paper. And you're also supposed to be doing your alebrijes on the paper too. There are a lot of artists that are really, really good at doing like the clay work or like just wood. There's a lot of people that do a lot of wood. But this is the traditional form of how to do the catrinas.
You didn't tell me that clay ones are so sensitive. I brought the fingers of my beautiful set.
I warned you, that's why.
They're so sensitive. They're beautiful. I bought one. My family has a collection of beautiful catrinas, and I broke one.
The fingers are very, very fragile, because they're very sensitive. So like the traditional ones like these are made out of clay or out of, like plaster, I guess, is some of the ones that they're made out of. The fingers are so delicate because there's no wire or anything. It's literally like
I grabbed it.
thinnest strand of hair sometimes, you know? The dryness of your environment can break them and crack them and they'll just fall. Like you don't even have to, you can, you know, it's fall and break. So I did make this really quickly with just some information that, you know, I know from my family and what history tells us that you can also find out with them. But Dia de los Muertos is a Mexican celebration, not Halloween, but this is to celebrate our family members who have passed on. It's just a day to remember them, show them that we love them. And mind you, the days are different since nobody brought it. I was hoping somebody would, but you have days where you can bring your pets pictures and you can honor them and they come to visit you as well. And the cool thing about Aztec or Nahuatl history to their religions and their ideas of heaven and hell is the love that you gave to your pets while they were living is what gives them the strength to help you cross the river to get into that, which is heaven for all intents and purposes. But it starts on November 1st. I think the 27th is when the day is for pets. So that's what you want to call for your pets to come. You put your pets' pictures on your bag. You can have their collar, you can have their favorite treat. For family members, you can have their favorite food, favorite candy. Elements that you do absolutely have to have is you have to have salt. You do have to have fire. You have to be able to offer water. For me personally, my grandparents were both very, very into making sure that they looked very well. Never seen them disheveled in my entire life. So when we present their pictures, we also make sure we put hair combs, stuff like that, so that they can fix themselves when they finally get to, you know, the land of the living. Okay, so ofrendas can be made up with multiple levels. I do want to emphasize that anything done that is made with respect is not going to be offensive. So if you only have one level to your ofrenda, that is completely fine. You're doing it with respect to show love to your family, but traditionally you will have a minimum of 2 different levels. The 2 different levels do represent the division between earth and sky, or the living and the dead. 3 levels will represent the sky, earth, and the underworld, and the 7 levels, which most like in Mexico, you will see very, very big festivals that have the 7 levels. Or if you used to attend the Dia de los Muertos in Ramona, we actually used to have this. Was it more than 7 levels? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably had like 10.
Yeah, it had, it was big,
Multiple.
very, very, pictures and offers. But the 7 levels are the most common, especially in Mexico. So the soul can come to visit you, and that's also why we're supposed to burn incense like Posada, Palo Santo. And usually like overture like this, so that doesn't break anything. And if you guys want to look at it, I'll show you guys what Copal is, just tree sap. I'm sure most of you guys know what Palo Santo is. If you guys want to look at it, you want to feel it.
I remember real candle, like the ones these many people are right there. So,
This is typically what is supposed to be burned during those rituals for the entire duration that you have your that on with the candles lit. And you're also, unfortunately, I apologize, I forgot to bring the flowers, but you're supposed to have the flores of basuchi, and you kind of are supposed to trail the petals to your altar, and that helps your loved ones cross and get to walk on the land of the living.
you have some messages.
Well,
Oh, you meant Rio? And I was like,
the scent is also very, very strong to true basuchi flowers, so that scent is also something that is supposed to go along with the copal, the palo santo, and that's what brings into your family. So that's so this is what I was talking about, where you have to have a level of all of the elements. You have to have traditionally real lit candles. And that's again symbols for your love for their deceased relatives and guiding lights to the spirit. So they're saying, when the spirits are trying to see, what they're going to see and notice first is the bright flickering lights of your candles. You're supposed to have paper, like we said traditionally, las catrinas are made out of paper mache. They're done with tissue paper. I know some people use butcher paper because the wax coating on it actually helps give it a smoother look while you're painting and doing other designs. You do want to use really bright, vibrant colors, especially for your carpet. I didn't have time to cut my hair. It takes two. But this is traditional bucket. Very, very delicate. I mean, it is like the tissue wrapping paper. There is a very beautiful art to people that can make very intricate designs on those things. That is a skill that I am desperately lacking there. Okay. So again, if we're going back to the incense, they're supposed to be very aromatic. And I know other regions, like in Michoacan, there's some people who will even put other types like very earthy scented stuff. So when you can go to like a eucalyptus tree, the eucalyptus is very earthy, very earthbound, so they would add that into their own scent as well. Not everybody does, but I have been told by some people from Michoacan that's something they do too. And you do also have to have water to quench the thirst of the deceased because they are traversing a very, very long route to come back to visit you. It's very, very difficult. If it takes the aid of your dogs that you have loved throughout your entire lifetime to help you cross the river to get into Mitlan, just imagine how hard it is to come back. Now that debate goes to like the food offerings. I know with other families, they put real food out. You also have the actual sugar skulls, which is what my makeup is, pretty much representing as well. We do use real sugar skulls. I have a cousin who actually makes them every year as well. She sells them. But they're also to be given as a treat afterwards. It's like come to their families open us. And we do always carry salt. And it must be placed on a plate. Some people do sprinkle it, but I mean, who wants to clean up all of that? But it does, since salt is very cleansing, it's supposed to help keep the corrupt souls or spirits, or however you may deem that term, from crossing over and staying in this area. A lot of typical food. Also, you offer fresh fruits, the chocolate, their favorite snacks. I already said mole was a dish that is traditionally cooked for people on Dia de los Muertos. There's also pan de muerto. I was not able to procure any, but it's pretty much just like the Mexican sweetbreads. It's pretty good. It's okay. I went to Vallarta even and I was like, I don't have any. I was like, why? Why do you do this to me? But yeah, anything that they would be their favorite. My family does also cook sugar cane and jicama, oranges, mandarins, whatever you feel is your family's favorites or whatever is pretty much closest to the region you're at, whatever's going to be fresh, because you want fresh things, not anything. And like I said, flowers. You do have some switches that can only come in yellow and orange, right? If you're looking at the real traditional
They come in also like a kind of purple color, but those are very rare. There's only exclusive to Mexico, the purple ones.
Yeah. So there is a flower that I know that comes from China. It's not called the cempasúchil, or those ones are marigolds, I believe that they call them. Those are the ones that are predominantly sold in the United States. But the flor cempasúchil is a very, very strongly scented flower, and it's very, very different.
Can you visually tell the difference between the two?
Yes, so with the marigolds, they're gonna be more, what's the term I'm looking for? Symmetrical. And all of the petals on the flor cempasúchil are individual flowers. So it's a bundle of just individual little flowers that are on one little round. And with the marigolds, it's just the petals. And like I said, the scent is incredibly stronger. Like you can be in a field of marigolds and you hardly smell any floral. You can have one bushel of flor cempasúchil in your house, and your entire house is going to smell the flor cempasúchil.
Wow.
But we have purple flowers, a traditional color of mourning in Mexico. I will admit I've never been to Mexico, so I've never seen the purple flor cempasúchil, and I apologize. Maybe.
They're hard to sneak into because they.
Yeah, you can't even sneak the seeds or anything. Yeah, it's pretty
I
strict.
tried already.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Don't ask my mom. She doesn't, but hey. Allegedly, no. Just kidding. Just kidding. So the calaveras are representative of our deceased relatives. Traditionally, yes, they are made with sugar and the design very beautiful. I personally like to have a mixture of both the actual sugar skull kind and then these more decorative ones. But if you guys go to my house, my entire house is decorated like this. But I'll pass this around so you guys can have a closer look.
Those are calaveras.
So these are all from Mexico. They're and like I said earlier, the sugar skulls and the candy that is left on the that are
Did you
actually
get your heads to them? Those.
this one I actually got in a store in Fresno that we went to. But see, some they are from Mexico. They even have the ¿cómo se dice? El
Like the certificate?
no, the japonés. They have beautiful talavera ones of japonés.
Okay. I want to say things fancy. I have some of those that are very fancy. Very cool.
I would try.
I wanted to. Because they were expensive.
So this, I just, the very end of this, I'm just showing you guys some of the events that I have had for other family members. Although I am not practicing much of what the indigenous religions and backgrounds that go along with this. I do have cousins that are, and when they get together, they do have literally the bright of everything that you need to have for that. But this is one of them that my family has done and put together before prior to. And here is actually where you see like all of the incense that was burning. So all of them that we had is really centralized so that you can kind of have it in the middle. Yeah. That's another angle of that same. I apologize. This is the only one that had good pictures because my cousin was like, we did good. You can see we have, this is how you know the sugar skulls, you could buy them at like Vallarta, or if you know somebody who's good enough that does it by hand. I do have a cousin that does do them by hand. But this is what they look like. Those ones right there.
The white ones?
Yeah, they are pretty appropriately, like they're small like these. And they have like icing, they're very cute. If I had the hand, I definitely would.
You're almost dying, and those take once, you have to look at close possible.
But yeah, that's just a representation of what our last unwrap looked like. So what I'm gonna have you guys do today is actually just I don't know if you guys are Catholic or maybe just like art, but in Catholicism, you do have sacred hearts, and a lot of times they're made out of tin. Now, this is a lighter form of that tin because the tin that you get in Mexico that they make them out of is like, you can make them out of the ceiling cap of like a coffee can. And you just research and you find everything, but this is the closest thing that you will find in the US to be able to make the traditional style ones here. And I'm gonna show you guys. So I give you guys this. This is the best one that I can find so that I can share with you guys how to do these. So make sure you have your little foam backing just to kind of keep you from here seeing a hole through your tin. You don't have to use this exact part for your sacred hearts that we're going to make, but what you want to do is you're just going to do a very, very light trace of your outline. If you want to do this part exactly, go ahead and trace everything that you want to use for it.
So you use the pointy end for that.
Yeah. So you use the pointy end to do your tracing of everything that you want to do. Oh no. Ooh. So when you see it, you can press a little bit harder if you like. You're going to see a very, very faint outline. Above on, it's okay about like a capital
How about to look my thing? Sorry. Let's see. You trace it? You said you trace it? This is the first time I do this. There, broke it again. That was strong grip.
What did the stick do to you?
That helps now.
Appropriate. Okay. let me know when everybody has their basic outline done.
Did you know that in India, I didn't even know they use also the basuchi
In India?
in India.
I
For their
love
Earth
the
Fairy
Diwali festival.
Yeah, they use the basuchi too.
That's around the same time.
So they also,
Is that their festival they do with like the powders?
yeah, also the festival of lights is called Diwali. It's a big thing. But they take her
I
and
have seen
organize.
videos where, you know, they bring the dogs in to like the door and then they dig their little paws. They're all being, they're baby. They're baby, it's just a baby.
What's happening now?
Oh, pretty.
Beautiful.
That's fun.
This is such a.
Then what do you do? You cut around it or what do you
No,
do?
not yet.
Oh,
Something that I do because it kind of helps keep your lines pronounced is you're gonna flip it over and then you're just kind of gonna go around the edges of where you did your outline and you're gonna create a little bit of a divot.
yeah, this. So you go over the edge.
Yeah, just go along the edge of where you did your trace. Don't go over it because then you're gonna kind of flatten out your trace. But you'll see how I just did the outline of my heart. So if you feel it, there's like an actual divot.
I'm going just to the edge, the outside of it.
Yeah. And let's go over it.
Not really over it, but around it. Yeah, right. One minute. One more minute.
Okay. And then
Oh, gosh.
yes.
Beautiful. That's not waiting.
Beautiful. Wow. You're so amazing.
So she puts like the recipes and she finishes and she goes, beautiful. Outline the heart. There we go.
Now, does anybody here want to make their heart kind of look like it's popping out, like make it 3D? Okay. Wow, you're so amazing.
And she heard you. Reminds me of like, just like that, you would feel like a soda bottle. Soda.
Yeah, so you can open up a soda can and do the same thing. I like doing this because, you know, in Mexico, you repurpose a lot of things to keep it going, to keep it recycling. Like they say, Mexicans, you're not gonna find our trash bags in the ocean because we reuse them for everything and anything. We use a butter, an empty butter carton for Tupperware, you know? The frijoles have to go somewhere, y'all. So my people have mastered the art of recycle, reduce, reduce. And that's one of the cool things. You can open up a can of soda and do this. If you like the old school coffee where you have to rip the seal off, you could use the top of that seal to use this. Good job. Look at you. Whoa, there's the ball that. Okay, so if you do want to give your what would we call those, like little feathers or leaves, a little bit more definition. If you want to do like the little line in the middle, this would be the time to do it. And if you want to make your heart look 3D, I brought these wooden skewers specifically because of the rounded end. You're going to use that rounded end inside your heart, and you're just going to make little circles tracing along the shape of your heart. And again, not trying to go over your outline that you worked on. So just little circles at first, kind of get your gems.
You cranky girl.
I paid into this.
I don't know how this is how they make the little ornaments in Mexico. I have a bunch of them in my house.
Now you could make your own.
I bought them at thrift stores and I have a bunch of them. I just think they're the ugly ornaments. Christmas. I have a whole bunch of them that are never used. Correct. Now I know what they are.
So if you keep pushing, you'll see how the heart now is a little bit 3D.
Oh, look, casting me.
You're awesome. Now I know what. You know what.
I see. Look, I feel like without fire, I mean, I don't know, but you know what?
I think one that make a lot of these and have your bar and things.
Yeah. So I've made earrings with doing stuff like this too.
There we go, Kathy. Look, 3D. It's 3D.
Wow.
Cool.
I guess that was.
Yes. Just start off with little circles and kind of work it around. And then you can work those little lines out later on once you get. And what this is, it just slowly stretches out the aluminum so that you're not ripping and creating a hole. You gotta just try to be gentle, take your time.
Push it, you know, too much. Push it.
So then when you're done with it, your heart
You know, like the Negroes, like the.
Yeah.
Push it.
is bubbled over.
Yeah, that's a movie I watched like.
And it looks a little
shiny yesterday.
Who said that was a kid? Or it's.
The team, that's in the fake.
I was gonna be the teacher, I'm gonna push your, what's the name of the girl?
You know it?
Yeah.
Patty?
Daddy,
I'm
baby.
gonna push it, Katie. I'm
Katie,
gonna
but
push
they
it.
call her Patty, right?
I'm push it, Katie. I'm push it. She pushed it good. I hope they make that they're trying to make the part two, because Lindsay don't have to produce her, but her other mom. With the junior George doing
Oh
one.
goodness.
Junior daughter, the nerd now, the one that Lindsay don't.
Yeah.
Daughter's gonna be the junior.
So it's like switch.
Switch. That's what they're saying. But they want all the original girls.
Oh, okay.
Karen.
This is so cool, Tommy.
This is to cut around the edge.
Yes. So if that's the basic outline of what you want to do, you can cut around the edge now.
Be careful because you will cut yourself.
It is sharp inside of it. I cut my finger today, just kind of these little strips of.
So does it come like in a bundle?
So, because I make really big
Okay.
sacred hearts, I buy it by the roll. And it's like, I think it's a 12-foot roll total, but it's a big roll. They do sell, I believe, just like pre-cut 4x4 strips of it too.
So since you're making it bigger, is it worth it to get the big one?
Yeah.
Not very good.
Good job, look at you. It's an eagle now.
It's an eagle. Wow. Oh, sorry. Could be good for. Nah, I just found
Yeah. Might be a little difficult.
They can make color. Pull up.
People use these markers to color instead of seeing.
Yeah, if you have acrylic paint markers, those are the easiest ones to use to paint these. Though I will say acrylic paint markers are not as vibrant as I would like. So sometimes my base will be used an acrylic paint marker, but then I'll use like regular acrylic paint from a tube. Because for whatever reason, it's just always brighter. I don't know why. I've tried so many different brands, so many different ones.
This is the best cutting I can do.
It does, good. All right, so for yours, because you already have, we do have some paint kits right there if you want to grab them. If you want to do like a weathered old look to it, you can go over it really quickly with like black paint and then wipe it off with a napkin or a towel, and it kind of gets into the little grooves of all of your outlining that you do, and it will give it a little bit of a weathered look. I do that sometimes if I know I'm not going to go too crazy with painting, or if I'm trying to stick with like just silver and gray basic, not too many bright colors on them. Let's see what is it? Get it per page 2 then. El corazón sagrado. I'm not Catholic, so I do apologize. If anybody going there would probably be the best option to answer this information. So
Sacred Heart is just like a representation of Jesus having holding his heart like this. And Mary, so you have a picture of Mary, Jesus is like this in his heart, and Mary has her heart. It's Catholic Church, is the sacred, they call it Sacred Heart. So that's why it's such a description. It's basically like this. I guess what I can say is Sacred Heart is like Jesus Christ is like in his heart for the people and he's holding it. Kind of like that thing. That's what I'm.
yeah, and you know, a lot of people, you know, there's some stories, I can't tell you the exact validity of it, because I personally don't believe it. You will find articles online that will tell you that, even the Virgin Mary is, a way that the Catholic Church kind of changed, an already existing knowledge of God to, convert the indigenous people to Catholicism. Like I said, I don't really necessarily believe in that because I feel like the deity or God that you're talking about does not represent exactly the same. It kind of looks similar, but I think that's the only correlation. Is it's just a similar.
So the aspect that you're talking about, so in Mexico City, I went there. Mexico City, where the Virgin of Guadalupe the cathedral. The legend is that on the mountain is where they have like a sacred pyramid there. The goddess was named Tonantzin. I think it's the goddess of the moon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, I can't think right now, but I know it's Tonantzin was the goddess of the moon. And that place precisely was the miracle that the Mexicans believe in, which is known as the Tepeyac. That's where a lot of, once the conquista was over, a lot of now what or Aztec descendants used to go there and worship Tonantzin. That was and the legend is that Mary appeared to a native there in kind of in form of a darker skinned woman. And she was floating based on what the legend says. The native saw a woman that spoke to him floating on top of the moon, which is why you see the Virgin of Guadalupe with she's on the moon, and then you see there's an angel kind of like this, you know. So the apparition that they talk about is that the native saw Mary
I'm listening.
in the moon. So yeah, the whole thing of the conversion is, how the native people took it as they carved on the theme because it also reminds them of the goddess of the moon they used to worship. That's why in Mayagüez, we have Aztec dancers, right? And they always dance on December 12th is when the operation happened in Mexico. Kind of like a form of respect of their culture, right? And their native culture. That's delicious in Mexico. It's a nice place. But I take it as a mix of native with Spanish, right? You said.
Yeah, I mean, some people say it is how the Spaniards helped
Conversion.
with conversion of the indigenous populace of that area. Again, I personally don't believe in that because I feel like the only resemblance is just visually. And I don't, I'm not gonna go into it too much, but I don't feel like I should trust history being told by the mouth of a conqueror who did not like my people, so.
But if you ever travel, Mexico City is the
Yes,
core of the
There is
history.
a really big festival in Mexico City where you have like people that have like these catrina heads that are like this height of this building. And people are moving them and
Like puppets.
yes, like puppets, and they look so cool. One day I would go to Mexico for that, yes, for sure. But I'm pretty sure tourist wise, but you know.
The safest time to go, actually, I was my cousins told me is during that festival because you have a bunch of tourists in Mexico City. All the best 5-star hotels are like booked to for that festival.
Okay, I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can actually see what you guys are doing.
Oh, I didn't know you guys were already coloring.
You can go. Or, go there, go there. That one? There's one big one. We also have, metallic ones too.
That's a believer.
Pink is a good. I'm not partial to pink or anything, not at all. Pink is a good color.
Because every colors are hard. Red, so cliche.
I know, I think mine like last year. Black purple.
So cliche.
So.
So bad.
Yes.
I don't believe that we're gonna go.
No.
Not to millennials at least.
It's gonna be us in retirement homes talking about it.
I haven't seen those part two.
It's really good.
I heard it's very, it's something told me it's very nostalgia for the, like, I like that.
It was well done because we produced it. She said, I'm gonna change something, for doing it. Doing it in LA is big, honestly. But I'm gonna do it again, see.
Yeah, see it.
Watching this stuff.
I think it's amazing on it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I think there was another gold. What's it down there?
We share, we'll share.
What I call it, time of heart.
I'll get more interest.
Getting another table. Quicker.
And then they have to do your listening again.
Done.
You can take.
Done.
Can I follow
Yeah, this is a.
the
Oh, we used because some people were a little zealous and they broke their first ones.
I'm okay, I'm gonna help you. Like, bring the table.
You don't have to use its exact. But you can use it in the base time, however you want to do it. This way or whatever. Just do an outline with the pointed end of your stick on how you want your secret part to look. And then once you do your basic outlines, let me know and then I'll tell you what to do.
just let me.
Basic.
It's a.
You get the kids.
Oh, wow, mira. Expert. Mira, aquí tenemos un Picasso. Mira. Wow, acha.
It's not even the little.
Mira qué cute decorations, guys. Mira, mira. Oh, Chris, Margarita, this is Margarita Dixon Sophia.
Oh, hi.
I'm the sister.
She's the sister.
I'm his sister.
And then.
That's two points of friend.
That's this one.
That's my, yeah.
Some to never buy anything that's Americanized. College they don't have that. So if you're gonna embrace this culture, to buy.
To the side of the park.
So they're available online. Yeah, you can just Google that on eBay. Same thing with these skeletons here, because I don't have these on eBay.
Oh, wow.
Just put
They're gonna be a little more expensive on eBay though.
I bought mine for like this size. I think it was like 14. They might cost you about 25 now.
And they're ceramic.
Ceramic like this, even
So Dollar General, no.
anything from China. Anything from China like this, for example, rip the 99-cent store. Look, I left this as a reminder for the 99-cent store. Rip the 99-cent store. They used to have really nice daily bed
Yeah.
stuff. But that the Mexican government is encouraging people like us to not buy unless you have to, and there's no other option. Then you buy
Yeah.
these things like this for your altar.
That's why I go through the store. I go to
Yeah.
Mexico.
If you can, you order online. Everything's available now online. outside of Mexico, it's encouraged to buy the actual stuff from there.
If you're able to record.
Like I have we have 3 bathrooms in my house. My bathroom that I personally use today. I have the curtains and everything. So I had these for years sitting in my bathroom, like 4. But now I got the bill told me to. And I bought 3. But I bought like the terracotta ones, like the really nice big one like this. So I broke the finger. Like the little finger, I broke, I had to glue it back.
I like those little signs.
Oh, this.
No, the, like it.
I do want to get creative too. Dollar Tree sells these plastic, but I paper mache these with newspaper. You paper mache over the plastic and then you can paint them. And these is kind of like a replica of what they sell in Mexico for your other.
Have you guys ever been to Mexico?
We are from Mexico. We are.
She wore an TJ. I'm from Jalisco.
Where are you trying the little pieces of metal?
The trash.
I drawn out in the garbage.
So if you ever want to paint them up too, you can just use, I don't know if you guys do leatherworking or anything, but if you know what an awl is, it's like a little puncture thing, it's got like a really fine point at the end. You can use that to puncture a hole in it and you can either put a string to string it up somewhere. That's
Somebody told me that you know those little hearts that are made of paper mache, like the one I bought? Those are called milagritos in Mexico. So they can still put them from the other too. So this is kind of like a replica. I didn't know that. My mom told me. She bought these in Jalisco when she went. They're a replica of milagritos, like they're decor little hearts. So they're like kind of like what you're doing, the little heart from milagritos. This is cute, though. You guys girls.
I have more to it, this one.
This has plants.
It had the air plant, but you know what, when I moved from LA to here's one of them.
I like this black one.
That one I got, in LA, Long Beach.
Yeah, I have 2 of these in my bathroom. I replaced the one that I broke at the cemetery we went last year. I bought, thankfully, I'm not, I'm so sad. And then I walked into my yard and I saw they had one. I see it went in there and I bought it for $20 or something. I'm gonna get it. But
Like little hanging, like.
She will not stop. Don't let.
and then the bill has big Catrinas, this is the life size like this, this tall.
You already did, like, oh, volunteer
Yeah.
With the full dress.
on the thing.
This is what, like a month? Did you go buy
It was her first time to her month. My first time, because I was like, let me see if I can do what the bill did. It almost took me about 2 weeks. But I've gotten better because I paid more and more, so now I make it. I made one of this big, that was for the chamber. I had to make 3 at the same time, so it took me about a week. But it was good to take advantage when it's summer, take it out and it dries so fast.
Yeah.
I waited too long and I made mine when it
Was
was.
this November?
I was sitting with a blow dryer trying to dry them.
No, I actually learned that the best time to make this is not in like early September when it's still hot, before it's cold. Because the first 2 that I made were early September, they dried quick, I took them out, and the sun was 100, it just dried them. So I made these heads during the summer. But I can't do the bodies, because the bodies, they get mold. You're supposed to put a little bit of vinegar on the mix, I didn't know that. So the vinegar helps it not get
You want
mold,
tape to hold
but
on?
it's still hard, they try to longer. But these are like to make life size Catrinas. You can buy a plastic mold. What I do, I cover them, and then you
Oh,
take
your
the
heart?
over, and then you stuff them, and then they're supposed to be imperfect.
You want tape on yours? You want tape?
So that's supposed to be the guy who knows the topic is. Just so you know. No, do whatever you like with them. I am going to go off of what you think about it for next year. And then I was hoping, because I'm gonna exhibit them at the, again, at the.
Yeah, so I'll-
To build the guy together, because I want to get recognized here. Put up that lady.
We don't speak of sheep, so
Yeah.
I know pieces of it like this. So it's like your big flower.
Well, you know, this one.
Okay.
My favorite flower is, I love Christmas more than the other one.
You should see his Christmas decorations. I look at his house every year to see how he does his Christmas decorations. I'm like, Hallmark threw up in here.
Well, when I'm gonna start this weekend. I have a 25. Did you see my year? Did you see it last year?
The last year I saw yours, we had that,
Vintage, like old school?
that old school fully.
Okay, last year was the better because I did gingerbread and also like baked goods and stuff. I didn't have
I don't-
it smells.
So you have this.
It's
a little bit dark, like harder. But once you do your basic outline like that, you flip it over and then you're gonna kind of trace your outline
But
on
I did
the
basic.
outside and on the inside first.
That's something on TikTok I was tempted. Like they were all saying, "Oh, Ralph Lauren, Crystal." I've never seen that on TikTok or whatever. And I'm like, these people are doing the vintage, like the old like tree that I did saw, and they're calling it Ralph Lauren. I'm just like, that's called traditional Crystal people. That's why I can't stand sometimes generational
Oh,
things.
yeah.
No offense to whoever's in their 20s.
Who's in their 20s here? Anybody in their
Generation
20s?
Z? Okay.
Okay.
The Generation Z people are calling it Ralph Lauren Christmas. It's traditional Christmas. And also, I like the fact that it looks like Santa Claus just threw up on your tree, just random stuff put on it with tinsel. That's fashion style too. All the
Probably
money.
decorates the outside too.
Or someone's like,
I'm not doing the outside. It's too much work.
You know the Mexican drink, the different water one?
No, Christmas,
Yeah, the.
Oh,
They call them,
spa waters.
spa waters. That's what they call it. Yeah, that's what they call it.
Andaban llamando las aguas frescas spa waters.
Wow. Yeah, secret big way. Sorry.
So we're gonna flip it,
Oh.
and then on the inside of your line work, you're gonna
No,
trace
seriously, I
go along the outside of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then on the inside of your part.
Doesn't go good.
I think once I color, I'm gonna go for stuff.
Well, we have. Yours was like little, cheetah print?
No, it's the watermelon.
Cempasúchil.
Cool that you did the
First time cempasúchil. Nice. Maybe she can start making that peanuts. This is ceramic. So this is ceramic. This is ceramic. You can make that. So if you work with ceramic, you know what's the trick to build one of these guys? I'll tell you. You know in England they call it the Victorian era or Angorian era, where the girls wear that poofy dress that's the.
Oh, yeah.
You can build a woman's body up with that, and you just make a skeleton out of clay. That's the Catrina. And then you put a big hat like kind of like a feather. You can make a feather. But this is more the fast way for
I
people.
like that you can still see the.
Yeah. Yeah, see this, and then in Mexico has a law now, anything that it crosses the border here has to say then make or knowledge process to sell here.
Yeah.
Because this is like, the president said this is the way of us getting credit for the work. So.
Now, would it hurt to be like treated like this?
So you
Or do you want it
wires
to be
and
flat?
things that. I've made some like this too, but
Okay,
I
so
use, for example, these guys, I cover them with like
So
foil,
from-
and just make the hits of this. And then I just build my stuff.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, this is where you need to draw in. You're gonna use the
As
bowl
long as
end of
it's
this,
authentic, you can
and you're
build
just
your
gonna do
authentic one,
little circles
but,
at first,
you know,
tracing
the
along the
traditional way people
inside. Can I borrow your
make
scissors?
it,
And then,
but
once you
the
kind of
thing is
get
that if
it
you
pushed
know how
in
to
a little bit more, you can kind of start doing like bigger circles.
that's what I can do, because I have one made out of clay.
Gotta
She
be
has a
careful
bunch of
because I'm
wood,
cutting
it's
myself.
really nice. Yes, a Catrina, a skeleton lady, I was like,
You just go
band bricks, they're very delicate. If you make it the hands, it'll. But if you're looking at the original portrait, if you want to see the face, the Diego Rivera, the body.
Start pushing a little bit, but not too far. Because it's not gonna rip your number. And then
But the
this gives
original,
it
the
like
very
this.
first portrait was just the face by Diego.
Just start with little circles first.
It was a Tubera Mafia, you know the story of the Catrina. Did you tell the story of the Catrina? Where it means? You know that? So the Catrina was a way during that era, the Victorian era in Mexico. Native people couldn't be native. You couldn't say you're native, you couldn't be proud of being native, you could not at all show that you're native. And the Spanish colonizers would make fun of you, so people were denying their native roots and they were trying to be European. So Diego Posada decided to paint a skeleton lady dressed in European attire at the time from the era, the early 1900s. Kind of mocking, saying that anybody, we're all the same because we'll end up being both, we die. So then Diego Rivera comes along and paints like in the National Palace, like a mural of like all of Mexico's history. And within that history, he paints like a thing, a full body with the dress of the era, which is the early 1900s. And she's very elegant, very like fine lady, but in bones. So it's a way of mocking kind of like the wealthy. You're saying that you're not better than us, we're all gonna be bones like this. So now there's this kind of cutesy, kind of like funny thing, like a thing. So that's where the story comes from. The Diego Rivera.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I like that we have a little phone on the back.
Well, I asked. I didn't have anything. So this is my fault. So this is a little one that I found at a donation place.
¿Cómo se le pone?
Yeah.
¿Cómo la-
But you can feel them, see, you can make a Catrina out of like that. Yeah.
Dice,
Oh,
It's
no.
even better, you can just go.
¿sabes a qué me
I'm
recuerda?
really sorry.
Más o menos de vecino cuando tienes ajá, the things.
And another thing is there's Walker the artist.
Nadie llama.
It's similar to the shape of
You
it.
can mock, for example, tell us.
But look at this one.
I think I'm just gonna do the heart.
You know what I mean? So if you want to do, for example.
We just wanted to find like a little basic
Me la
outline.
Part of your identity or-
Yeah. I can't see the outline too clearly, so I ended up cutting some of it. So I'm like, okay, just gonna do the heart.
Are you making
It's
milk?
easier to use, you know, the same little scissors that they use for like sewing?
Oh, yeah.
You can use those because it kind of helps you like go around the finer details like of the
Oh,
points a lot
yeah,
easier.
yeah.
That's what I use. It takes a lot longer to cut them, but you know, it helps keep the shape as much as
You're making
possible.
fun of them, yeah.
The final product will be
That's not
worth
bad.
it.
I'm gonna make it tough, actually. I was telling them, I'm gonna make it all chocolates like that thing. No, that's the point. It's just to make fun of them. This one's cool, I like it.
Let's get say
And
something.
once you're done with that,
See this one?
cut out your
It says
Yeah, legal aliens.
Just best you
It's
can.
I'm gonna
Native
be
Mexican.
you are absolutely
No, I am.
you are.
Right? This is Rosa Mexicana.
They also have it at the Mexican store. Yeah.
So the store that I got those at is kind of like the Mexican dish. They don't sell Mexican, they sell a lot of stuff like that. They sell a lot of the incense. They just put it, they have a lot of cookies.
Flip it over or
It is
que le
like
pones
a dress
textura.
from.
So wherever you stick, you flip in the, yeah.
Oh.
It's the bead is made originally started with the Mayans. It's what they wear in embroidery.
Yeah, they have like the dresses. and
Yeah.
That's very cool. You wanted an ornament for that?
Also, just to let you guys know too, things like Palo Santo, Copal, sage, you're not supposed to purchase it. They're not supposed to sell it technically. It's better if it's gifted to you. I have a lot of Copal that was graciously given to me by a native man that I used to help when I worked for the tribe nearby. He actually does dance traditional Mexica dances, and he's very, very traditional in his ways. And he brought me a really big bag. So if anybody's ever interested in finding some Copal, let me know and I can give you some. I have more than enough spare. Even my Palo Santo that I have here, I did not purchase this Palo Santo. My good friend Chris actually brought it for me his last trip in May.
Can you bring Copal for tomorrow then, please? Thank you.
We just ask for beers. I
If we're asking, right?
Thanks for letting me know.
That's why people like, well, I know why your friends not be like, you're cool, he's cool, you cool. That's cool. It's by association. You already got to this toss right there.
Thank you.
That's I think last time I went to Boba, I cannot go anywhere in this room without adding some random people to my Instagram. If she'll talk to it's always the person to our right, left or right, whatever. She's like, where are you guys from? And then she's all, I can't think of them. I'm like, oh man, more people love them. That's my Instagram.
Oh, yeah. And then I'm like, how old are you guys?
One of them was 19. One of them was 19. I was like, oh, hold on, let me turn around this way.
How old are you guys? Like, not
Kimberly offer
Yes.
YouTube.
YouTube and Twitch.
De debajo de una. I said, I'm sorry from that.
Yes.
Sí, me mandó dice,
Sorry.
Is she paying for the shipping? What are you selling? Unos pantalones, they're like snow pants.
Okay. She's like, I don't think that.
Oh.
Okay, it's like,
Since
I had them for like $8.99. She offers like
something that I made
$50.
that this hasn't been sealed yet, and I accidentally put it.
I'll take them to. ¿Y cómo le vas a hacer eso?
Look at it, careful what we say.
No, because I don't have one, and I made it look like a teacher, the art teacher anymore was helping.
Well,
me.
yeah, but
But then that.
I haven't said anything back.
Just gave me my art piece that we finished. He was like, we need to get fired up. Yeah, I'll just go. Whatever. Anything to do like the so anything to do with it? I use 6,000 sometimes. Okay. Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, I indented that.
You have to kind of hold it there for a minute.
Look, no, no.
5 months. That's for tomorrow. Do you still have the safety pins recorded with it?
No, I think you can go home.
So the back.
That's what I'm gonna wear for tomorrow. But I
This is the state outfit for the state of Fiction.
Oh, can you tell what kind of, guards they should be wearing if they would want to?
Oh, I think that's.
No, get together.
No, don't be like those other people. Don't be some characters.
Remember I mentioned, I think that means embracing your culture and dressing as a skeleton
It
woman,
looks like an alien for me.
but it is better to do.
Let me see.
You know what? It looks like that character from Elemental, the girl.
A lot of people, from what I saw this past Saturday, are very.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
The effect on me?
No elemental.
You know,
But it's not right.
That's like going to
I wonder what to do with the edges.
She's fine.
Cause like, what if I like,
And so
That's
she's
even
gonna cut myself.
she fired. Thank you.
That's the purpose of it.
Fired. She's fired. Yeah, yes.
Lot
Yeah,
more.
the water.
You can wear a state,
what if I,
national costume from Mexico.
yeah, it looks like that.
Chiapas,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
Monterrey,
porque tiene que ya.
anything from the state and turn it into a Latina, which is from Campeche. And then the original
Tiene
blouse,
los ojos como los ojos de un.
the original has
maybe you should have painted this side.
This is made by machine because I wasn't gonna pay.
I'm gonna give it a
$100. Nabil, this is the front, by the way, the flap right here. So you're putting it under. This Campeche, he has the history of Campeche. Just picture it in the shirt, see that?
Vamos, se puede tomar.
This is made by hand, the original, but they're very expensive, which is this, what we say.
Does that be like important
Yeah.
ordering?
This would be made by hand, Campeche, and then it's supposed to be like a mix of the native culture with Spanish. That's why it's like, it has like a flamenco tail.
Mhm.
And then they use, in their head, they use
Those
this,
are the ones that you're trying to, you said you want there, or they're the.
they use this.
No, those are different ones.
And also one thing in Mexico, they use, these are called claveles inside, in English they're called,
Foundation.
carnations. For the dances in Mexico, now they're using roses.
Oh,
No, it has to be carnations.
Yeah.
That's one thing that people don't realize. I've seen ballet follicles and I'm like,
yeah.
big ass flowers. And I'm just like, seriously? I'm an instructor and I'm very traditional. You're representing a state. It's like me dressing up as a Hawaiian wearing a native costume from
Right.
you don't do that. So, carnations from Veracruz, they can wear them red or it can be white, but it has to be a carnation. It can be fake like this or real. I think if you want on one side, it means you're married to the other. And then also these are made by hand. In Mexico is real.
Yeah.
So here's the rebozo. And then it has, I didn't bring up piñatas.
So last year, the pink dress that I wore, that had like the whole headdress, that was this dress also. All those necklaces that I typically wear.
Oh, I'm actually, this is an original, this is a real Catrina fan. But I had, the one she wore last year is the one that goes with this dress. I decided to give it a change, it can be different, look more like tomorrow. See, yeah, okay. That's also Brittany Nixon's. Yeah, but see, they had fans for like dressing up as a Catrina, see?
¿Tenemos que pintarlas?
And-
But-
But
Okay.
Oh, you need colors?
no, I already got them.
Oh, thank you.
Y no es que los pongo, pero a veces
Yeah.
Have to be out of here by 8 o'clock.
That's all fine. I got you.
And then this will be the back when you do
You
like-
can do the whole thing right here,
Thank you.
because I messed up. And this, that's gonna do a last look at the,
Me lo vas a hacer.
and then I'm gonna end the stream.
With like makeup from last year. Congratulations. Mira. I'll be getting there at,
So much better than my. That is the end of the stream for today. Thank you for joining us and check out what Create and Connect are doing next. Wait, how do I end? There you go. Bye.